Good morning, it's a Friday, and welcome to the Market Review, where we bring you developments in the financial and capital market as it relates to the economy. We're looking at the unlisted securities market, but an interesting topic today is technology and market development. You agree with me that technology has been described as a major driver of processes that can improve efficiency and even trade for market operators. And even prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, various exchanges have been working around to leverage technology to improve their operations, whether it's the Nigeria Stock Exchange, the FMBQ Securities, and the NASD OTC. And so today, we'll be looking at how that is helping, particularly in the unlisted securities space and markets. With me to lead this conversation, having him back again this week, is Mr. Oluwaseyi Kolawole. He's a research analyst with the NASD PLC. Nice to have you, Oluwaseyi, and happy Friday.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here again.
Yes. So it's about technology, and of course, you also, your company has also invested as an exchange in technology. But just want to speak to how technology is ensuring market efficiency, execution of trade, timely market information and interaction amidst the global pandemic, especially for the listed securities market.
Firstly, I would like to say technology is an enabler, really, in every aspect of life. We've come to realize that technology has been very impactful, positively. Obviously, there are negative sides, but it has been more positive, especially during this pandemic. We've come to realize that, physical interaction has been limited or hampered, so to say. Technology has really created an outlet or an opportunity, for enterprises across various sectors to, perform their businesses. For the capital markets, really, it has really helped to, one, identify processes or procedures that, we could even make more efficient, as opposed to, physical interactions and, maybe having, for instance, brokers come into the office. Via technology, we've been able to, interact with them. Submissions, for instance, forms and all that can now be done digitally. So technology has really helped in that scenario. And, monitoring the markets, a lot of human interaction used to be required. But now with technology, you can leverage that. You can actually do things that would probably take longer. Technology has cut that short as well. So we've been able to automate a number of processes, especially this period. And it has helped us, with cost savings and, even labor hours per human. So technology really has been very helpful this period.
Very helpful and as an enabler. But for your operations so far, what would you describe as one or two very interesting experiences you've learned leveraging technology this period? You know that kudos to all the exchanges, even the operations of the Apex regulator, Security and Exchange Commission, you've been able to utilize technology effectively to continue your operations, and the market has not had any incidents to not operate in any of the days.
I've been rather interesting. Just the breadth of what you can achieve with leveraging technology. And like you rightly said, even our regulator said, they have had to, rely on technology for a lot of things. And it's been seamless. For us, I think a major highlight is we've been working on our business recovery and disaster recovery plan as well. In a situation where, unforeseen circumstances, some would say maybe an act of God, such as the pandemic would occur. We never realized that we'd have to, deploy that this 2020. I mean, we've done some test run, prior to this year, but it's been interesting knowing that for the past couple of months, majority of the employees have been working from home. Up until 2020, we didn't think that would be possible. So technology has helped us, easily or smoothly transition into, remote working condition. And, supervision we thought would be an issue because, everyone are in their respective homes, you don't know who's doing what. But, as a result of tech, even leveraging apps such as Zoom and, Microsoft Teams, you've been able to, host virtual meetings, even meet on group discussions and projects. So I think those have been particular highlights for us. More importantly, trades have been done digitally. A lot of brokers, well, initially or previously, they never really came into the exchange to trade. We've always relied on technology to achieve that. So now it's just been more seamless, and we've been able to make more efficient certain processes as well.
Yeah. Now, part of the vision of the NASD PLC has been to emerge as the hub for capital formation and liquidity in West Africa. And that now has become imperative that technology is an enabler of that and is given top priority. So how is this helping your role and your ambition to be that key source of capital formation? And then I'd like you to speak to the angle of something of immense concern in this period: cybersecurity, data protection.
Right. Okay. So first and foremost, we've our vision is to be the hub of capital formation, not just in Nigeria but West Africa as a whole. And I think just by virtue of that, the size of that vision, you can see how technology plays a very important role, because with technology, you can reach farther to people who are not necessarily in Nigeria alone, but even globally. We've had to leverage our platforms. We have about 3 to 4 platforms that actually service market participants, and what this does is we have been able to even automate some of our processes. We even have some applications on the mobile applications that you can buy, sell shares on your phone. It's that easy. So technology has expanded our boundaries. We're not limited to Nigeria alone. You have people from other parts of the world or other parts of West Africa, for instance, seeking to raise funds. For instance, maybe you're trying to raise funds for a private company. We have the NASD Enterprise Portal. It's a platform fully clouded, which provides access for entrepreneurs to access investors from all parts of the world. The OCC as well, which trades Unlisted Securities, is also available on mobile app. You could be in any part of the world. Once you have the application on your phone, I think we launched an Android version, soon to launch an iOS version as well. So, there's increased accessibility to people and brokers. So you have people abroad who go, I would like to buy these shares in Nigeria. I don't know how to go about it. Well, it's pretty simple. Once you have the app on your phone, we can help you with that. And so that's easier. Speaking to cybersecurity and data protection, it's interesting you asked, because I think last week or 2 weeks ago, we actually held a meeting where we had an expert who talked to us on this, and how come to realize that now that everyone has gone digital, there's an increased risk for exposure, to be exploited, by people who are seeking personal gains or selfish interests. So we've become more conscious, and we've even reached out to our third parties to ensure that data collected from our customers and stakeholders are protected and are not just easily received or gotten. We come to realize that a number of companies actually sell their customer data. They sell it out to make some more money without the knowledge or approval of these customers. So this is wrong. So we have actually laid down due processes, and we've also reached out to our stakeholders just to give them the relief that, listen, we have the information, yes, but at the same time, you can hold us up to the highest ethical standards to ensure that your information is not tampered with in any way or form. We've also reached out to our third parties to also encourage them to, meet up with the same level of standard. This way, we can confidently go out and inform our customers that not only is your information safe with us, but it's also safe with third parties that we transact with.
Very, very important. And I'm just happy that just 2 weeks ago you discussed cybersecurity, because that's one very major concern as technology continues to play its enabling role. We've seen how various systems, institutions have been exposed to hacks and also invasions. So cybersecurity is very important as we transit and leverage technology. But let's look at some of your platforms. You have the B platform, empowered, designed to empower dealing brokers to carry out the operations without hitches and even the major concern of the market, price manipulations. How is it going so far?
Well, interesting to say that, because we are actually looking to upgrade our platform to a matching engine. However, with this platform, we've obviously puts procedures in place. The platform obviously helps brokers to trade and deal in shares, buy and sell. But at the same time, we've been very cautious. We are aware of the antics of market participants. Some try to manipulate the price. And you find some even trying to buy and sell to each other, and making prices that perhaps would not benefit the market. So what we've done, we actually have an in-house surveillance team. Their role is to ensure 24/7, they monitor the activities on that market. And anytime we notice infringement, the call file, whoever is responsible is, called to order. We have fines, and we also have other processes in place to ensure that it does not recur. So it's like a learning process, such that for every error we realize or we actually intercept, we put procedures in place to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And we also try to be open-minded about it, because we also try to sit back and look at our system and go, if I was a broker trying to take advantage of the system, how can I go about it? So we also try to tackle the processes we put in place. That way, we are better for it. But like I said, towards the end of this year, we should be launching a new engine. It's a matching system, and we also have a very robust surveillance tool as well, which would help minimize, market manipulation, price manipulation amongst brokers.
So we're looking at third quarter, fourth quarter to launch the matching system.
Fourth quarter 2020, we should launch the matching system. Yeah.
That's nice. That would be interesting, because that would be a very interesting story to capture that amidst this period of the pandemic and the challenges, you're still able to launch a platform that can drive the markets. Yes.
IT and operations department, they've been working
tirelessly to make this happen.
It's a reality. And the market is pretty excited about it, especially brokers. The platform allows us to even list more securities on the platform, and
which is very important. List more securities, yeah. And have a more diversified market, OTC, unlisted securities market, because I can see that it's diversified from energy to real estate and to various other sectors.
A number of sectors, actually, a number of PLCs actually in Nigeria would like to have an opportunity for their shareholders to trade those shares, but some are scared of regulations. So the OTC platform offers them an avenue, to access liquidity for their shareholders as well. So this platform would also help us, reach out to other sectors that we previously couldn't reach out to, and even certain brokers who thought, well, your current system is not matching, so I'm not really pleased. I'm not really excited to jump on board. But with this new system, I believe we're going to witness increased activity, volume, and value.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you have the ViewApp, which of course is described to improve accessibility, especially to even the millennials. I'd like to know if you're getting that desired market traction, because you know how powerful the millennials are. I mean, I keep talking about the reality program, the Big Brother Nigeria. I mean, just recently, MultiChoice said they spent about 3.5 billion naira to produce that. So you can imagine how powerful these millennials are in terms of what they engage in and what they drive. Is your ViewApp getting that traction? Because those are the real next frontier to engage in the markets.
Yes. It has, in a way. However, I do believe we could get more traction. Like you rightly said, I was reading an article yesterday, and I can't remember who said it, but his argument was, I think it was a government official, that millennials don't invest in stock. Shareholders are 50 years and above. I read that. I can't remember who said it, but I read that yesterday. Definitely. And it's the truth. If you look at the demographic of Nigeria, I mean, we have a large number of youths today and millennials who, if the retail investor base in Nigeria is quite poor, if we can, provide an avenue or a platform through which they can easily invest in these things. I actually have friends who have a platform where they talk about Tesla shares and Microsoft. And I can't blame them. I mean, we have good stock in Nigeria. I'm not just talking about Philippines and Japan. Companies, very good fundamentals as well.
High growth potential companies.
High growth potential companies. So we've realized that, and it's also one of the reasons why we launched the mobile application to increase accessibility. And we've also been working on advocacy and awareness as well, because believe it or not, the earlier or the sooner they come to know about investment and capital markets, the easier it is for them You find
Yeah.
someone who's probably 30, and this person doesn't want to learn something new because he hasn't really grown with it.
Yeah.
I think I know the last time we spoke, I was talking a lot about sports betting. A lot of people
Yeah,
have
sports
taken
betting was reviewed as
massive.
one of the most viewed sites as at a
Yes,
particular period by StatCents. One
yes,
of the
it's
most viewed
massive.
sites, particularly by
Yes.
young men. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
and I see kids, not even maybe youths yet, and they're already, placing bets, making some money out of that. And
Mm.
it just blows my mind to think about, how much it stands to gain, in the equities market, or
Yeah.
investing for the long term. So,
Mm.
that's driven us to ensure that, we provide an avenue for them to access this. Like I said, the mobile app is on Android phones for now. We're looking to push it also iOS because we know there's a very large number of iPhone users as well. So we believe
Yeah.
we can bring this to the palm of your hands, from anywhere, any location you are. We can begin to experience, increased activity and participation in the Nigerian capital market, and
Yeah.
growth in the Nigerian economy as well.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very important. Now, talk about the betting and sports. You can see even across Europe and some parts of America, some of the clubs or sports companies are listed on the market. I think David Beckham, the English football star, will be making history as, if not the first footballer to list a company, sports company, e-company, sports company on the markets. And I'm seeing the opportunities there. I also know that the NASD several years ago had a conversation with the Nigerian Professional League Management Corporation, to see how it can be a source for
It's
clubs
interesting
to engage.
because an
Initiative.
MD of NASD, Mr. Jomale, he is
Yes,
very
he's been
passionate about football, and
yeah,
we've been trying all sorts. We've visited different states. We're just trying to. We believe if we can list one club for starters, just
definitely.
one. If the rest see this, and the amount of success that they can get from this, I think we're going to get a mass following. Because to be
Definitely,
honest,
because
a football club in Nigeria will do a lot. You get more money, you get
yeah,
more structure, better
more
management. Even the
structure,
players,
corporate governance, and yeah, people can see what they're investing in.
exactly.
Yeah,
So we're trying to also explore that option as well.
definitely.
We should
It's an
consider.
encouragement to do that. So do you
Yes,
also love football like your MD, Mr. Bola Jomale?
it's hard not to share that passion. He knows how to transmit the passion. So yes.
Yeah, yeah. This weekend, one of the biggest leagues, the Premiership, will be beginning. So I just imagine Nigeria in the next 5 years, our leagues are so attractive that Europeans and others can be eager to
I
watch.
look forward to that actually. It will be very interesting. And having knowing that for each state, you have a share, even if it's 1 naira
Yes,
or 5 in that club, the passion and the following, it's even better than it used to be. So I'm quite
I
optimistic.
agree with you. I agree with you, Shay,
Yeah,
because even like my state, we have Aqua United, is a club that
right.
our people support. So I can imagine buying shares there.
Yes,
My
that
brother is
you
passionate
want
about
to
the
watch
club.
every
So
game.
everybody, yes, you want to watch, and it will also, if it's listed on the market, also helps the state government,
Better.
who is like a major financier, to also limit its expenses and bring in more private sector activity. So yeah, it's a laudable initiative, and hopefully it can gain traction for sports. But let's look at regulations. You are aware that the Securities and Exchange Commission rolled out a roadmap for fintech last year under the previous acting director general, Ms. Mary Udoku, was passionate about it. And of course, Dr. Lamido Yuguda, the current SEC DG, is also committed to supporting and driving the process. How has the process been in terms of creating value for the NASD PLC? And I guess you're aware now that we discussed last week about crowdfunding. It's as if the SEC listened to that and they've now issued, again, guidelines for crowdfunding. I guess you're aware of that. And what are your thoughts around that?
Well, it's a very welcome development. I mean, the market is definitely excited about it, especially with fintech roadmap. I think I was there with Mr. Jumali as well. We happened to be at the launch of the fintech
Yeah.
roadmap, and it was very good to see the direction in which our regulator is headed. I mean, it was interesting to see that they shared our value and our vision, and not only that, they were willing to run with it. I think it's a welcome development, in my opinion. As regards the crowdfunding as well, I think it's almost as though they probably listened on our interview last week.
Yeah.
But I think this definitely opens up the Nigerian space.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs, investors, retail base. I think it's very positive. For fintech, a lot of companies in that fintech sector, had been doing a lot of things, under the radar. It wasn't clearly
Yeah,
defined,
fine.
what the rules are. But
Mm,
now that I think it's clearly defined, I mean, we can watch against certain infringements. We can
mm,
also encourage companies that have been doing well to continue to do even better.
mm.
So I think it's amazing. I don't think obviously we obviously still have to be careful to make sure that the rights of investors are protected, and we don't get too excited or carried away, because whenever there is a major development like this, there are usually those who are looking to exploit it and take advantage of it. However, I believe the current um, SEC boss would do a fantastic job to carry us through the finish line, and see that there's benefits in this for everyone in it.
I was going to ask Mr. Oluwaseyi Kolawole, I know that your MD has had a lot of exposure in the markets, even working overseas before coming back to Nigeria. What are some learning points? Are there some, everybody always has these people they look up to, this is want to be like them, want to really exceed and do better, but we like what they're doing. This is the standard in terms of unlisted securities OTC markets across the world. Is it the US, UK? Which is that standard you've always been looking at that want to really exceed?
Well, we don't limit our scope to perhaps maybe just the US. We try to get like a global overview, because you come
Yes.
to realize that what one country is doing really well, another country might not be doing so well. However, that country not doing so well is probably doing something well. So what we try to do is get the best of each and all of these countries. Even in Africa, you can see
Yeah.
South African
You
boss
said South
doing
Africa
very.
and Ghana too? Yeah.
Yes, you can look at the UK as well. You can look at the
Yeah.
AIM markets, the alternative
Mm-hmm.
investment markets in London as well, which is quite similar to what we're trying to do here. So we
Yeah.
try to look at what they're doing, get the best of all worlds and try to incorporate that in Nigeria. But
Mm-hmm.
more especially, or more importantly, I would obviously like to give credit to Mr. Jomali. Like you said, he worked abroad and he has come to, he's a visionary. He has these ideas. I mean, if you sit down with him for too long, you might start to think like him. But he's got these ideas for the capital market and so much he would like to achieve, even from the unlisted securities markets, the number of companies we've been able to onboard in a very short space of time, to the NASD Enterprise Portal, which caters to, private equity and, high
Yeah.
growth enterprises, and now crowdfunding, so he has always got ideas, he's almost as though he's ahead of the game,
Mm-hmm.
with crowdfunding. We already had an app waiting, we're just waiting on SEC, to keep the go ahead. So, at times some of his ideas, even the regulators are not ready for it yet. So, we have to, pace ourselves and, try to
It's
also ensure
yourself,
that
yeah.
the ones we have on ground are actually, being of value, as opposed to just, churning out products and, nobody's really benefiting from it. So, we try to tailor our products to ensure that, the Nigerian populace really benefits from it, because the US, has its markets, the UK has its market as well, and the needs of these respective markets are kind of unique. So we can't exactly, copy and paste that template. We try to
Definitely.
take into cognizance the Nigerian market. We know how poor the retail investor base is. We know how averse, people are to investing. After the crash in 2008, we know how people are scared to, just jump into anything. So, we try to take all of that into account, and also, our regulators as well, and see, what would be best, how can we best serve the market. So, yeah, so it's a mix really. We try to, pick the best of both worlds, but also tailor it to what the Nigerian economy would require.
Yeah. Let me just get your closing thoughts on what we'll be looking at in terms of technology, how you see it drive further the activities of the NSD and even the unlisted securities market. You just mentioned the one in the UK. I mean, how would this really uh, shoot you to the level of becoming more engaging and attracting more listed securities? Because I must admit, there are listed securities I've seen there in the market. Companies are coming. We need to see more coming. And
Yeah.
what will technology help you do in this regard?
Yeah, I believe there's so much we can do with technology. I don't even think we've started to, scratch the surface of what we can
Mm,
achieve. I mean, there's talk about blockchain, coming to the market, Nigeria embracing that. How soon? I don't know, but it's just interesting to see all these new advancements. For us, we've always, leveraged technology, and I think that's why we've been very flexible. We've been very agile and nimble, when it comes to, making changes or, taking action. We can fly off the cuff just like that. So tech obviously is an enabler. It has helped us reach out to places we probably wouldn't have been able to reach out to. You get calls from all over, and perhaps it's an ad or perhaps your application. So we want to continue that good work. We've seen how much ground we can cover with tech. So we're looking to expand on that. We're looking to build on that. We're looking to create applications, services that we believe can benefit the populace. And we're not just looking at the older generation. We're looking at millennials, and we're not limiting to Nigeria or West Africa. Technology has made the world, a global marketplace. Where you can start to transact with somebody as far as Iran. So it's an interesting time, and we're looking to optimize or maximize the benefits that we can get from technology.
Yeah, I mean, technology has made us really
that innovation can really transform the market. I mean, I remembered going through some developments in the market, and I know that I don't think you were there too when our seniors, I would say that, will be shouting when they're calling for an order or a placement or so. But we moved from that shouting, matching orders in the market to trade with technology. So I believe that we're moving to the next phase. Like you said, most likely if blockchain comes on board, that we can really do more in that regard to deepen the market, a seamless market that drives developments and deepens particularly financial inclusion. And of very important concern, post-2009 crisis, like you said, brings back the retail investors to say, yes, this market is vibrant, much better regulated, and it inspires our confidence to invest in. And definitely it will be for the good of the nation, because the capital market reflects the economy, and technology is an enabler that has to be leveraged properly. It's interesting to note that in this period, we have all the leaders in the capital market, from Mr. Oscar Onyema of the Nigeria Stock Exchange to Mr. Bola Nadele Koko, the CEO for FMDQ Group, and Mr. Bola Jomale NSD, all driving technology, even down to Mr. Edeji Balogun of AFEX, the commodities exchange. So indeed, with that kind of leadership, and of course, the Apex regulator, SEC, with Dr. Lamido Yuguda supporting technology, and this recent guidelines on crowdfunding, we expect that the market should be on board to drive more value for investors and the public. Thank you once again, Mr. Oluwaseyi Kolawole, for the time, and looking forward to subsequent discussions around the OTC and unlisted securities. It was nice having you, and just wishing you a very interesting weekend. And I guess if you have a club you support in the Premiership, you would have a great weekend to watch the game.
Definitely. Yes. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Yeah. And that will be all for this edition of the Market Review, where we discuss capital market developments as it relates to economy. You can send your views and comments to news@prochange.com as it relates to the OTC and unlisted securities. What you think technology can really do more to improve the markets. We'll respond and also get across to those who are key players in that space. Also, watch our videos, read our news reports and analysis. We give you the incisive analysis on the market. We also have a space on our site where you can get to unlisted securities and get all the information around the activities, particularly in the NSD. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching. This is wishing you a lovely weekend, and please stay safe.